back in black. And I pleaded with the Lord at that time, saying, "My Master, Lord, you yourself have begun to show your servant," this is Moses, "your greatness. And your strong hand, for what God is there in the heavens and on the earth who could do like your deeds and like your might? Let me pray, cross over, that I may see the goodly land which is across the Jordan, this goodly high country and the Lebanon." And the Lord was cross with me because of you, you Israelites, you stiff-necked Israelites that made me angry. So I hit the rock in anger and didn't lift up God as the one who did the miraculous. I took credit for it out of my anger. And he did not listen to me, and the Lord said to me, "Enough of you. Do not speak more to me of this matter. Go up to the top of the Pisgah, and raise your eyes to the west, and to the north, and to the south, and to the east, and see with your own eyes, for you shall not cross this Jordan." And charge Joshua, and strengthen him, and bid him take heart, for he shall cross over before this people, and he shall give them in estate the land that you will see. So yes, God was cross with Moses, but not fully. Because the episode is a teaching story to teach those who are chosen, especially and primarily the son who would read the story. That's the reason why the stories were there metaphorically, not for us primarily, but for the Son primarily, because he's the first to go the way that he went. And the Son read these words, or heard them read in the synagogue, and that life, that word that was in him, taught him what the words meant about Moses. That even the episode of the anger that Moses indulged, and how it made him not hallow God and not honor God because he was angry. And he indulged in that animal appetite, the anger that the animal wants to well up. And he did. He became bound to that anger. He bound himself to it by letting it take him over, letting it control him, binding himself to it so that he did his own purpose. And this is the story from the beginning, that God has a purpose. That he had a purpose for creating what is and what the story says. And he has a desire, he has a will to have a certain thing. But there is this other competing thing, which really are the two things. The other competing thing is the adversary, the deceiver, the devil, the voice of the serpent that spoke as the metaphor. This Satan that entered Judas. That is the same thing that happened to Moses. It welled up in him a desire to do his own purpose, his own will. that competes with the will of God. The devil is the purpose of man, not some demigod entity flying around trying to get the good people to be bad people, but that ubiquitous voice that every one of the animals hears inside itself, that every one of the animals grows up into, and what becomes calcified and concretized in each of the animals when they pass over from this vulnerable child, kitten, puppy, whatever, to this hardened survivalist that knows how to survive, that knows how to hear the voice, that really does hear that voice, that all the other mature, old, nasty, stiff-necked animals like feral cats hear all about surviving, me, get, have, attain, retain, strive for, work for, get more of. Because it's my right to get it, because I need to survive just like all these others need to survive. And we all conspire together to hold that up as our right to keep doing that. The right to feel we are good enough to get angry and forget about God, because our rights have been violated, which is exactly in all that Moses really did there. He thought he was good enough, important enough, inherently good and important enough to do whatever he felt like doing by that voice that spoke to him, that told him, be angry, get angry. Of course not audible, but a force that acts. The motivator. What all the animals are motivated by in a very complex way. That's not audible. Underneath everything else, continually driving underneath. That motivates all of us, all of them, the world, the prince of this world, as the Son calls it. Not him, not Satan with a capital S, as though it's a person, as though it's an entity, the evil God. But the force which keeps man what he is, that which makes man what he is, that's that which continues to where he is. That is exactly against and out of the purpose and will of God, to have those who won't listen to that voice, to have those who refuse to listen to the voice of the animal, which is the temptation, and things represent in that. The Son would grab his own purpose, that the Son would bind him to the devil and say, I deserve to have what Solomon, I deserve to have my own purpose satisfied and granted because I am the Messiah. It's a temptation.